we have experienced the maximum grace of Jesus when we were like at the most bottom of things, you know, in the worst situation that we were in. Around 2007, we felt that there's a specific calling that we are getting, and this calling was towards the city that we were living in.
There was a lot of praying that went behind it. So we just wanted to be in the community, just hang around with them.
We figured out that the most vulnerable group in the whole city of Delhi are the girls who live on the street side.
We can give them education, we could give them medical aid where they were, but they needed to get out of that place, out of that street side, to stay safe and be actually able to change their lives, divert their lives from where they were.
And that's how the project Diversion started. So we went ahead, found a donor. The donor was very good.
For the second year also, they had promised us to sponsor us, but suddenly backed off, saying that the same amount of money can be used for a slum school that could probably give education to 50 kids.
Finally, we had to say no to that particular funding, and that's where the most tough part of our journey began.
We did not have the heart to tell the girls that, okay, we don't have money, so leave. We could not do that. Everything that we owned, that was ours, had to be put into this program, because now these girls were our family and we cannot let our family go because of money.
You know, for an Indian woman, the most prized possession for her is her jewelry, especially the jewelry that she would get in her wedding and things like that. And we had to actually give away those jewelry to get the money that would sustain us.
So it is like you had to do what you had to do. They're family.
Whatever savings that we had, wherever little bit savings that we had to put everything into the work that we were doing. Figuring out how to feed them on a daily basis was a step of faith.
So each month was a struggle, that when the month got over and it was time to pay salaries, it was time to pay rent.
You don't know where it's going to come from. And people show up with food, people show up with resources.
It was again a step of faith.
At the same time, the assurance of our calling and vision from Jesus was very clear. And it was, this is what I want you to do. You know, be faithful in what I have asked you to do, and I'll take care of the rest.
Even in those very, very difficult times, we just had Jesus and faith and hope with us that it is going to get better. It will get better.
There was no plan. We didn't think about 1 year plan, 2 year plan, strategic plan, nothing. It was about what needs to be done now. What is the Lord asking us to do now? The Lord, you know, kind of led us and guided us into, you know, what it means to be self-sufficient and how you can actually sustain yourselves. And that's when we started our first business, which is manufacturing leather products.
So when we receive a raw piece of leather, it is just animal skin. It smells bad, it's raw, it is not pretty. It does not really have value as such. It is quite similar to as when we receive girls from off the streets. They don't look pretty to the world, they are just raw. They don't feel that they have value or worth in themselves. But like a piece of raw leather is cleaned, it's shaped, it is stitched together, the pieces are stitched together, they're put together, they're polished to make them into a person who is empowered, who is educated, who is independent, and they and their community and their families see a lot of value and worth in these lives.
But what I didn't realize was that the life of struggle was also a life of faith, because you had to depend on Lord Jesus for every step of your life. And that was a very important aspect. And fast forward to today, I think my wife and I live with the same kind of faith, depending on the Lord as to what next, or how do we get to meet these needs of the work that we are doing, or these needs that we have as a family. I'm really glad that we listened to the voice of the Lord and stuck to what He was asking us to do, because had diversion program not been there, I think there would be so many girls who would still be struggling on the streets.
I have still a relationship with all those girls from the first batch. When I see them today, I feel so proud of them. I've been to their weddings, I've been to their first baby being born, their celebrations. I've been a part of their lives since then. If I look back, I think I would still do the same thing again if I'm put in this situation, because it's completely worth it.
Today, because of us listening to what the Lord wanted us to do at that point of time, we have 5 different programs that are running and 3 profitable businesses that are helping those programs to run. All this because we were faithful to that one call that we got in the most deepest of our time, and we were faithful to it, and Lord has been more than faithful to us in that.